Hey guys, how's it going? So you might have already seen the brand new pictures of the upcoming LEGO Spider-Man Far From Home sets are here, and oh man, they look fantastic and so much better than what I was expecting. I mean, the leaked minifigures seem to be really of a higher standard than what we were normally used to, so I figured these sets had the potential to be really good, and oh man, I wasn't actually expecting it to be the case though. These sets are so exciting. This is the first time in a number of years where I am genuinely excited for an entire lineup of MCU sets. So to get started, the Molten Man Battle looks awesome. Before we even talk about minifigures, the build of Molten Man himself, this giant mech, is so cool and so creative and so unique in a lot of different ways. I absolutely love all the trans orange elements and the antennas and how it simulates a dripping effect. I mean, he really does kind of look, as you would hope him to be, as Molten Man, and the different stickers, and so all the gold elements, the detail with those stickers. You have this printed dome which just looks amazing with Molten Man's face. I mean, obviously he's very well articulated with a series of ball joints running throughout the articulated right hand, the turreted left hand. I mean, he's got a tire on there for the left hand. He's got like a street light and a lamppost stuck in there, so he's very clearly kind of absorbing a lot of what's around him. And I mean, that is just so exciting. That just looks like such a cool build, even if it wasn't for a Spider-Man set, or even if it wasn't Molten Man. That is just so cool looking, and I'm very much excited for it. And also, of course, this is the set to debut the stealth suit Spider-Man, as we saw him in the set photos from that sequence, and oh man, that looks awesome. I mean, I kind of wish that LEGO didn't go with a dark gray torso, but otherwise it's an excellent minifigure all around. I absolutely loved it when I saw the leaked photos of it, and it looks absolutely great here as well. And also we got a firefighter included, and he looks awesome, like he's having a great day. And of course, this is the first set where we get to talk about Mysterio. I think that Mysterio looks awesome. I absolutely love the new dome piece that they've got coming up for him. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw him in the trailers, I was like, all right, man, how am I gonna make a clear dome piece? And I just didn't really see the potential for how that was going to look clean or anything like, decent. And then LEGO comes out with their new Mysterio minifigure. We see it in the leaks, and it just looks so good, with a silver head underneath that new clear dome, which I think is fine. Kind of, creates that cloudy effect that you're supposed to see with Mysterio's dome. And I don't know that the torso or leg designs are that accurate necessarily. I think LEGO was basing this off of concept art or, outdated reference material, or maybe Mysterio gets a second costume later on in the movie that we just don't know about yet. I'm guessing it's probably the first case, which is fine, because the minifigure still turned out looking fantastic, as is the set, just awesome all around. This set though, the Hydro Man attack is so cool, giving off those Indiana Jones vibes. I mean, oh man, I absolutely love the build here, the bridge and the little building next to it. I think that's so great. And of course, included with this set, the minifigures I think we just have to talk about first. We've got Peter unmasked, kind of like, with the mask as he's about to pull it over. You have the Spider-Man eyes printed onto that little ski cap, and it just looks so great. I've been waiting for LEGO to do that, and they finally did here, and it's so good. The printed torso too, that has got to be one of LEGO's best Spider-Man minifigures to date. I mean, that is just so cool looking. The head is not new, but it does work, and I mean, you can also swap that out with the Marty McFly head, which I still think, really looks a lot like Tom Holland. And also you have MJ in this set with a brand new face. She looks great. I think that's awesome. And also, of course, you have Mysterio in this set as well, so that's really exciting. And also Hydro Man, of course, looking awesome. I absolutely love the water element, like that whole water build that comes up from the bottom there. That just looks so cool with all the different trans blue slopes. I mean, the minifigure itself, I love the printing on him, really giving me some like Dr. Manhattan vibes from DC, but this minifigure just looks great. The little canoe that MJ has, even that looks really good. I mean, this whole build just looks really good. I'm so impressed with what LEGO did here. This is a really good example of how you can still make a really small set that still looks really good. And I mean, there's so much that's going on here with that design. Of course, the bridge and all the different slopes and the brick that's integrated in all looks so good. You have The two playability functions come in the form of a couple buttons. So you have one on the back of the bridge, you press that in, and then two of the floor panels on the top of the bridge come flying out, and I guess the box art kind of on the back simulates that forces Mysterio to go airborne. And then like the dock area, the deck there where I imagine Peter and MJ were eating, you have a button there too on the side, and you press that in, and then that whole table comes up, and so that's pretty cool. You even have a little interior for that building there too, and that's available for some playability. And also you have studs, modified bricks all over this thing, so you can stick the webbing pieces wherever you want. So that's really cool too. I mean, this entire build is just so good. And like I said, just really reminds me of those Indiana Jones, Last Crusade set. This is just really good. And I love the box art for the Spider-Man Far From Home sets. I mean, I love the render of Peter in his new suit off on the right. I love the Spider-Man emblem on the top and the bottom right. The illustration of Spider-Man on the left side of the box. I mean, this is just, again, this set, all three of them, just so impressive. And finally, the last set, the Stark Jet and the drone attack, also the biggest set for Far From Home. And I guess this might be a little bit of a spoiler if this sequence does actually wind up happening in the movie to any degree. Regardless, this set is so cool for a number of reasons. And of course, before we even get to the build, we have to discuss the minifigures. Again, we got Mysterio back, and of course, like I said, he appears in all three sets. And then we do have the debut of this brand new Nick Fury. The eye patch is not as cool anymore, but the minifigure is great. The likeness with the new head is fantastic. The torso and the legs, I mean, by far the best Nick Fury Legos ever made, and I really don't think it can get much better than this. And we also finally have the debut of Jon Favreau. Happy Hogan is in this set. I don't necessarily agree with the hairpiece, but I think the face is really awesome, and I'm just so excited to finally have him in Lego, so that's really cool. Hashtag is Tony still alive. And also, this is the only set to include Peter in his standard Spider-Man costume, and unfortunately, this is the standard Stark Tech suit, so we don't get that new black secondary color, but honestly, I'm okay with that because we get such a fantastic stealth suit, such a fantastic Nick Fury, Mysterio, Unmasked Peter, MJ. Honestly, this doesn't bother me, and I'm really okay with this. This minifigure has always been fantastic to begin with, and just the fact that it doesn't have a black secondary color really doesn't ruin it. I mean, it would have been great to have that suit and really complete the lineup, but I mean, this really is okay. Like I've just said, this minifigure has always been great, so it's just honestly good to have it back. But moving on from that, though, to the actual build, Stark's jet, hashtag is Tony still alive. We have a really, of course, out of scale jet, which is to be expected, but we have a really nice set of features, and oh man, an interior Lego. I'm so glad Lego's doing interiors again. We've got a really great interior here. We have two spaces in the center there in the cockpit area for Happy Hogan and Nick Fury. We have little clips on both ends for their weapons, and to my surprise, included with this set, you actually do have that more standardized pistol along with an Alien Conquest pistol, so that's very exciting to have those back. I honestly feel like those should be the standard for Lego pistols, but I understand why they stick to the Alien Conquest pistols. Either way, the little screen there on like what appears to be like a little table looks awesome. You got two little like purple and green vials. I have no idea what's going on with those. Maybe something to do with the story. And then in the back for our first playability feature, we have Peter hooked up with his web to a jumper plate, and essentially there's a button on top of the jet, and once you press it, that hatch comes open, and then Peter can swing from the bottom of the jet as he attacks these drones. And these drones, by the way, are a great example of not including something stupid like the damn helicopter or the buggy from the Avengers compound, and these are actually really great. I mean, you look at these and you have builds that seem natural, essentially, and so I think that's really exciting. And on top of that, in the back, there's another hatch that opens up from the top, and you have bombs that can drop out from that section, which is really cool. You have foldable wings, of course, those can be adjusted. You have a wealth of stickers on this thing. You have the Stark Industries logo as two of them on both sides of the back, which is really cool. And I mean, otherwise, to just discuss the overall design of the jet, I mean, just looking at it, it's so sleek and so well put together. I'm very impressed with this set and like the upcoming Endgame Quinjet. I think Lego is finally turning it around for the MCU sets. I think it may be a little bit too late though, and I think Endgame should have been the turning point, not Spider-Man Far From Home, but no idea why Lego makes the decisions that they do, but like I've been saying throughout this video, the Spider-Man Far From Home sets look absolutely fantastic. Again, the first time I am genuinely excited for an entire lineup of MCU sets in a long time, and I'm so looking forward to reviewing these for you guys. First off, the Endgame sets are coming out really soon here. They're actually just like starting to come out now, so I can't wait to finally get those reviewed for you guys too. I'm getting my reviews set up back in place, and also I'm finally working toward wrapping up Captain Marvel pretty soon here. It's taking a lot longer than I would have liked, but while I do that, I do have the Spider-Man PS4 Advanced Suit Showcase coming up pretty soon here at the end of this week, hopefully, and I did just launch the MGF podcast, so if you're interested in my dumbass talking about all kinds of stuff that pertains to Lego and pop culture in pretty much all areas, then definitely check that out. It's pretty great, all brought to you by a good buddy of mine, Tate, and that is linked below. So yeah, episode 1 is out, and episode 2 is this Saturday. at 2 p.m. over on that channel. Otherwise, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm going to get back to work on stuff like editing this video so I can get it up at a reasonable time today, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, take care.